I can show you my dick, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you first know that you were trans? I can open your eyes, take you letter by letter, gay or transgender, lesbian, bisexual, questioning a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, no gender roles, no parents interfering.
A whole new world where women can have penises. And now that you've interfered, I'm genderqueer. And now I want to cut my dick right off.
Now you should just cut your dick right off.
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling, puberty blockers and hormones, reassignment surgery, a whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Gender isn't even real.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I used to be.
Let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new world. That's where we'll be.
That's where we'll be.
A thrilling chase.
A wondrous place
for you and me.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Apparently, you are not allowed to call Disney, well, a certain word on Twitter, or you will get banned. If you call Disney this word on Twitter, you will be banned. And, well, we saw this happen with creator Jack Posobiec over simply saying boycott groomers over some Disney parody merch. He gets banned off Twitter for this. Agent Poso, creator of the Human Events Daily, host Jack Posobiec has reportedly been locked out of his Twitter account over a tweet in which he promoted the sale of merchandise made in protest of Disney's recent vow to overturn Florida's Parental Rights and Education Bill, also called the Anti-Grooming Bill. It features a slogan of boycott groomers illustrated in the style of the company's traditional castle logo. Shared by Posobiec to his personal Twitter account on April 6th, the offending tweet featured a pair of links to the Bring Ammo clothing company's recently purchased Boycott Groomers t-shirt and sticker, respectively, alongside his playful engagement, "Get it before it's banned." Now, maybe it was because of the Bring Ammo reference to it. I don't know. But the fact that you locked his Twitter account after this is a little curious. However, on April 10th, after an uncharacteristic period of Twitter silence from Posobiec, the reporter revealed via his Telegram account that he had received a 12-hour lockout on Twitter for calling Disney groomers. "I stand by everything I said about Disney," he says. According to a screenshot shared by Posobiec, the tweet apparently ran afoul of Twitter's rules against hateful conduct, which states that you can't promote all sorts of bad behavior. As of writing, Twitter has not specified which category they believe Posobiec directed hate towards. Well, we know that, I'm sure it was mass reported by the weirdo pro-grooming left on Twitter. Commenting on the situation to the Post-Millennial, Posobiec referenced Twitter's new majority shareholder, telling the outlet, "Elon Musk recently commented on that corporations dictate policy on Twitter through ad dollars, so it comes as no surprise that Twitter will censor you for criticizing one of the largest media companies in the world. This is a clear retaliation for me leaking the internal employee forums at Disney, showing that many of the workers support Florida's anti-grooming bill. As noted above, the Bring Ammo's Boycott Groomer merch line was created in protest of Disney's vow to repeal recently officiated Parental Rights and Education Act. Of course, the act has been signed, and it's irrelevant to scream and complain about it. But you see, again, numerous Disney employees call out companies' radical opposition to Florida's anti-grooming bill, and this was all laid out by Posobiec. The original tweet, which is still alive, here's just a few. Sounds like workers just wanting to do their jobs. Just had a cast member at Disney leak me a ton of screenshots from their internal staff message boards of Disney employees arguing in support of the Florida bill. We'll post once we sanitize them to protect anonymity. You could see so many of these. Where and how is this listening tour being conducted? My thoughts, Disney should not be taking a political stance on anything that affects all of its employees one way or another. No matter which side you take, you're excluding the other. Let the workplace be the workplace and live your life at your own house. Love and respect to all. Let children be children. Most everything is very ignorant. Everyone is very ignorant to the actual wording of the bill and who it applies to. It doesn't apply to the LGBTQ community. It applies to our educational system. The governor of Florida, along with the state legislature, felt compelled to write a bill that gave kids and the parents of raising kids, as well as having regulations to our school systems. If kids ask about this kind of stuff, then I believe it's the parents' responsibility and discretion. I would 100% agree with that. But it's interesting to me just how deep this goes. You could see the Daily Beast actually wrote a hit piece about why Posobiec was banned, and for whatever reason, they're pro grooming. I don't know. You can see the Post Millennial writes, the Daily Beast retracts false claims about Jack Posobiec's Disney tweet. This is via the beautiful, intelligent Libby Emmons. The Daily Beast's attempt to write a hit piece on Human Events Daily's Jack Posobiec backfired on Sunday when it had no choice but to retract claims that Posobiec was calling for the raising of hands against Disney. There was simply no truth to that claim at all. In fact, they were entirely and unequivocally false. After the falsehood was exposed, the headline of the article was changed and an editor's note was added. Editor's note, the story has been updated to reflect that the quote, bring ammo graphic on Disney's boycott groomers t-shirt matches that of the company by the same name of the manufacturers of the shirt. So the company that makes the shirt just happens to be called Bring Ammo, but they make custom stuff, right? So you can see Libby tweeting here. You can see Libby's initial tweet. Why didn't I see this? Anyway, you can see far right's P-word obsession goes mainstream with calls to, quote, bring ammo to Disney fight. The Daily Beast, allegedly reputable news outlet, printed this. Except it's on everything they make. Here's Bring Ammo Trump 2024. Instead, Posobiec and others were suggesting if parents don't like this kind of spicified or gender identity reinforcing content be put up by Disney and being advocated by their executives, they should boycott the brand. The 12-hour Twitter ban for, quote, hateful conduct was therefore done on false pretense because the assumption that Posobiec was calling for any kind of bad behavior, when in reality it was just a t-shirt with a conservative lifestyle brand's logo on it. No one at the Daily Beast nor Twitter apparently bothered to check it. Banning Posobiec for suggesting people raise hands was based entirely on a fallacy. He was never calling for that. Activist Twitter admins and the Daily Beast saw what they wanted to see. Quote, the original framing of this article suggested that a mainstream conservative lifestyle company's logo is a call to raise hands, says Andrew Kovlet, spokesperson for Turning Point USA, who hosts Posobiec's Human Events Daily podcast. This is a rather extreme incompetence or brazen attempt to smear conservatives who are rightly concerned about the content producers and executives at Disney who are openly calling for this kind of spicy content, including all sorts of other stuff. People should ask themselves, why is the Daily Beast engaged in a blatant effort to apologize for this heinous corporate culture? The news, and I think that's actually a very fair question to ask. Why is the Daily Beast like trying to look? There's plenty of things that conservatives do that are cringeworthy, that are worth criticism, that are worth talking about if you're some sort of far left news outlet and you really want to stick it to them. But like this is just, hey, we're gonna frame this again. They make the news. They don't report on the news. You could see Jack also talked about, this is over on Post Millennial from April 8th. Jack Posobiec says corporate media is losing their minds over the anti-grooming bill. Human Events Daily, Jack Posobiec did a breakdown of the corporate media's freak out over Ron DeSantis' anti-grooming measure, which, by the way, passed weeks ago. Posobiec commended DeSantis on his hardline approach against this kind of content for kids before taking aim at corporate media for their blatantly partisan opposition. Okay, groomer, that's Governor DeSantis explaining to the corporate media and corporate America that we're going to draw the line here. We're going to put a stop to this type of stuff. If you're somebody who's out there that's talking about this kind of stuff in kindergarten through third grade, we're talking about the youngest of the young. If you think that's okay, if you think that's something they need to learn instead of, I don't know, math, that's what you teach your kids. You don't get into the stuff, and you don't, guess what? You're a groomer if you disagree. What amazes me, he continues, the entire corporate media has lost their ever-loving minds over this. It's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. Christina Pushaw, the press secretary for Governor DeSantis, put up a complete montage. I've got to read you some of these headlines. Posobiec then reads the headlines. Why Republicans are smearing everyone as P words now. Teachers who mention this kind of inappropriate stuff are, quote, grooming, conservatives say. GOP smears political opponents as P words by MSNBC, all linking the anti-grooming bill to the Q. David French, you guys normally conservative. David French is against the groomer smear, says Posobiec in a snobby, posh accent. And then Joel Mathis, why are Republicans so concerned about grooming? Okay, groomer, he quipped. Finally, the right is learning how to fight back. The same people who were baselessly smeared as the bad guys from WW2, conspiracy theorists, operatives, and all these other type of things, the right is finally fighting back. You're going after the kids. They're trying to do just terrible things to them, and we're going to put a stop to it. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's important that you fight back, but also, like, you have to be effective in it. And right now, the left has the entirety of corporate media. They have, late night talk show hosts. They have all this stuff on their side, and the right has to get better because they lost the branding about the whole, how they said it, don't say gay. That's the presumable narrative. Very few people knew what it was actually called. They have to learn how to call it the anti-grooming bill first and then beat them at their own game. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.